beware, beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment. Radical radio at its finest. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Hey, here's a weather report today. Get your lame asses inside. It's going to get nasty. Weather report's over. They'd have to sit around 3 hours while these ignorant bastards don't get me going to piss me. You know whatever else pisses me off? And it's some black, it's some white. You ignorant, young, stupid bastards. Get out of the street. I don't know what's happening in Belleville, but all these ignorant young kids, black and white, nothing racial, it's because they're stupid. You drive down these side streets, and these bastards, and I mean it, these bastards make you drive around them. There's sidewalks, there's grassy areas, but they're going to walk and hang in the street. I say that, kiss my ass. I'm about ready to, well, I'm not about ready to do what I'd like to do, but I know you people that drive down, and not just in Belleville, I'm sure it's all over. You're driving, these kids are 2/3 in the street, and they dare you to run over them. Now, if you happen to hit one or bump up against one, boy, then you're in trouble. But they want to stand out in the street, and it's primarily younger kids. And I think to myself, what the hell's wrong in this world? What the hell's wrong in this world when young kids, 14 to 17 to 20 maybe, I don't know, I didn't check their IDs, but I pulled my clown car, and they were in the middle of the street, halfway in the middle of the street, and I figure I was going to get arrested because, you know, everybody, I can't hide, everybody knows that car, and I stopped, and they just looked. There's about 4 or 5 of them, couple black, couple white young guys. I can't say what I said on the air because I'll get fined again. But in essence, I asked those nice young gentlemen to get out of the street. Well, man, and I just unloaded on them, and I started driving, and they eventually got out of the street. But it shows you, I don't know. It's not a race thing. We always talk about race. It's not a race thing. It's a lack of parental guidance thing. Both black and white. And I guarantee if you're from Belleville, especially Belleville, and I drive all over, but I'm in Belleville most of the time, you'll see what I'm talking about. These kids just don't give a damn. And one of these days, I'm not going to give a damn, and probably you're not going to give a damn. Hey, with me later, they'll be coming in, Dallas Cook, the Belleville City Clerk. We're going to talk about transparency, and I got to salute Dallas Cook. Dallas is one of the few political leaders, and he is a political leader. He's a public servant. He's not a politician. I know Dallas Cook doesn't agree with the way I say things. I hope he agrees with what I say, but that's his prerogative as an American. But every time I've called Dallas, you see something in the paper, these politicians will duck you. Dallas Cook says, Bob, I've got other things to do, but if it's going to help the people to understand what I'm doing in my office, I'll be there as often as I have to be. And I don't want to impose on him. But so with me, a little bit later when they arrive, will be Dallas Cook, the Belleville City Clerk, and also his father, the co-chairman of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, Roger Cook. Roger, the ex-mayor, did a great job as mayor, fought the administration, fought the culture of corruption, fought the incumbency of these rotten bastards and won. And then after that 4 years, boy, they spent millions, and I don't know about millions, but hundreds of thousands of dollars to beat him. But Roger's back, fighting for the cause with the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. And I wanted to talk to him a little bit about all the work both I did exposing it last Tuesday, but Roger and Carl and the Freedom Coalition picked up on it, and they fought for this flag debacle at the city of Belleville and the city police department uniform crap. And I got to say, Mayor of Belleville, Mark Pussy Boy Eckert, a.k.a. Maximus Vaginas, you and Bill Clay, the chief of police, what an ignorant, stupid, rotten bastard you guys are. Un-American son of a bitches, and we're going to get to that. And again, when we do with Roger, don't hold anything I say against Roger Cook. Roger cringes sometime when he's sitting across from me. But you know what Roger will say at the end of the day? Bob, I may not agree with the way you said that, but I do agree that we're all Americans. And in this great country, we all have the freedom of speech. That's one thing Roger Cook has never tried to take away from Bob Romanik, and I don't think he'll try to take away from anybody, is our freedoms. Now, we can agree to disagree. We can have arguments. We can have political disagreements. But at the end of the day, I've never once heard Roger Cook say, you don't have a right to say what you wanted to say. And think about it. No matter what I say or you say, our freedoms trump what's said. Our right to say it trumps anything we do say. Our rights as Americans. So, but anyway, don't hold anything that I say against either of the Cooks, because they're going to come in to be transparent, to talk to the community. So, and I think I've prefaced it enough with all my guests. I think people know now when my guests come in, they come in to talk about the subject on their mind, not to endorse my show, not to endorse this radio station, but in essence, to be transparent to the public. And what greater political aspiration can anyone have other than winning an election? Second best thing is being transparent and letting the people that put you in office know what's going on. So Roger and Dallas Cook will be my guests in just a little bit. I'm going to get through my civic duties here, and then we'll go on to the flag. We'll go on to Belleville, and it's not going to be pretty. So I didn't come in and super glue your knob to 1490, your radio knob, I mean. And I didn't come in and do anything to that radio that you can't turn it off, 1190. So be ready. Friday and Saturday, July the 24th and 25th, the Mid-America Horse Rescue are having their barbecue fundraiser. It'll be held at the Creehans parking lot in Belleville. Don't have a telephone number, but that'll be Friday from 4 to 7 and Saturday from 10 to 2. July the 24th and 25th at Creehans parking lot in Belleville. The band Wilderness, a dance concert on August the 9th. That's Sunday at the VFW Hall in Waterloo, Illinois from 3 to 7 p.m. All the proceeds go to the Monroe County History Museum in memory of Deb Johnson. If you have any questions or concerns or would like to come out and hear the band Wilderness, you can call the great people down in Waterloo at 618-281-6936. Nick, and I hope I've got this right, Nick Gavallo, Gvillo from Madison County. He says they're having a lot of difficulties with advertising. The Madison County Fair, he'd like me to announce, will be July the 21st through July the 26th. So, Nick, we got that out. We'll talk about it every day. And Tuesday is going to be a tractor pull, Wednesday, rodeo, Thursday, combined demolition, Friday, a car demolition, Saturday, stock car races. So if you guys can make it up to the Madison County Fair, please do. And Nick will be advertising that every day until the end of the week. The American Legion Post 1937 out of Belleville, Illinois, their meat shoot this Sunday, July the 26th at noon at TR's Place, 4901 Concordia Church Road. If you need any information, you can contact Commander Jim Farbus at 409-1212, our Senior Vice Commander Jim Markham at 558-7006. Concert for the wounded veterans and warriors, the Wounded Warriors concert, Saturday, August the 8th at the Edwardsville American Legion Post 199 at 58 South Route 157 in Edwardsville, Illinois. If you have any questions or concerns, want to support and go to this concert, you can contact Mike Bartow at 618-660-5686. American Legion Post, and I'm trying to find it, 578 out of Bunker Hill this week. A Veterans Memorial event, July the 25th, an all-day event from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. in Bunker Hill, Illinois. Great little town. The radio station is going to try to make it up, so if you guys can come up and meet us. Got Steve Davis, Memories of Elvis at 2:30. Going to have vendors selling all kind of wares, a poker run, 5K walk and run, a bounce house for the kids, food, live music by Whiskey River. That's going to be this Saturday, July the 25th at Memorial Veterans Park in Bunker Hill, Illinois. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Bob at 225-7534. Now here's a great cause, Back to School Fair. School supply giveaway. Going to be Saturday, August the 1st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. while supplies last. And it's going to be at the Wesley Memorial United Methodist Church in Festus, Missouri. They're going to give hot dogs away, going to give water. They're going to have shoe store coupons, haircut coupons, and all the necessities to get everybody back to school. There's no income requirement. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call the nice lady at Wesley Memorial United Methodist Church, Pam Roth. It's 636-937-5854. You can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling. Please like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or our sister station for the best in the golden oldies at KZQZ 1430 AM. You can also hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m. Monday through Friday, and we're broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. On this date, July the 20th, 1858, admission to a baseball game was charged for the first time. It cost 50 cents to see Brooklyn play the New York All-Stars. On this date, July the 20th, 1868, legislation that ordered U.S. tax stamps to be placed on all cigarette packs were passed. On this date, July the 20th, 1917, the U.S. draft lottery in World War I went into operation. On this date, July the 20th, 1954, Elvis Presley gave his first public performance playing on a flatbed truck parked outside a drugstore in Memphis, Tennessee. On this date, July the 20th, 1969, human beings Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin Jr. stepped foot on the moon for the very first time in our history. On this date, July the 20th, 1976, Viking 1 launched August the 20th, 1975, landed on Mars. It was the first spacecraft ever to reach that planet. On this date, July the 20th, 1976, Hank Aaron hit his 755th and final home run, 40 more than Babe Ruth. That's what happened on this date, July the 20th, throughout all these years in our world's history. Tomorrow, ex-Judge Lanina Kaysen. I believe it's going to be a very, very heated interview with Judge Kaysen. She's going to come on and tell it like it is. She's going to give you a backdrop behind the scenes as to what's really going on in St. Clair County and their judicial system. And I want to thank Jim Finn, an retired St. Louis police officer, for giving me some information. We had some of it, but we sure appreciate it. Now, well, before we get crazy, local lawyer to formally announce congressional bid. On Monday, Bear Civic lawyer Charles B.J. Blowjob Barasivic will formally announce his candidacy for the 12th Congressional District. Now we're going to have at least two Barasivics. Now they're talking about a third Barasivic, John Barasivic, who's always ate at the public trough, that no-count rotten son of a bitch. He was an assistant state's attorney. He was a state's attorney. He was a county board chairman. He was a judge. Now he's the chief judge. Hey, Barrecivics, get you a job in the private sector, will you? We're tired of supporting your lame-ass bastards. But this BJ, blow job Barrecivic, 29 years old, and I'm not going to hold his lack of age and experience against him, but 29 years old, and I would believe his father, get out there and run. You're a Barrecivic. Let's hold these jobs. Let's have that be our legacy. Hey, we're not over in England. We fought those ignorant bastards in England to have a free society. We don't need another kingdom over here, Barrecivic. And John Barrecivic will be running for judge. He ran for retention 6 years ago, needed 60%. He got 60.1%. So I'm predicting he will not run for retention. He'll circumvent the system and he'll run for election, because he's no way will John Barrecivic get close to 60%. But now his son's running. They tell me there may be a couple other family members running with different last names. So Barrecivic, it's about time, John. The way you treated Jim McCrary, and when you run, all this crap's going to come out from 30 years ago. The way you've done the Mid-America Airport, and you were a big part of this debacle. You and Mark Sweet Cakes Kern, all that crap's going to come out. So if you think you're going to have an easy ride like you've had in the past, I think the good people of St. Clair County and the 20th Judicial Circuit in Illinois, I think they found you out. And it's not going to be pretty. Flag flap my ass. Bill Clay, the chief of police in Belleville, and the mayor of Belleville, Mark Pussy Boy Eckert, a.k.a. Maximus Vaginas. You two stupid idiot son of a bitches. Because of this radio station exposing it, and Roger Cook and Carl Officer, co-chairs of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, as soon as they heard it on the air, they called me. They said, Bob, we have to stop this. They fought. They made calls. We talked about it on the radio, and guess what? It's over. Now, this stupid son of a bitch, Clay, said, I want to have some symmetry. Now, listen to this. With all the crime going on in Belleville, I want to get some uniformity and symmetry with our police uniforms. Now, what are you, a fashion coordinator, or are you the chief of police? Symmetry and, let me get these words again, unbelievable. Uniformity and symmetry in our uniforms. What a gauge term that is. Uniform. Maybe I pissed the gays off. I don't care. To me, it is. Uniformity and I don't even know what the hell symmetry means. But this stupid son of a bitch. But I do want to thank all the callers, thanking the radio station and the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition for their support for Old Glory and keeping to expose this atrocious action of the Belleville chief of police and mayor. Unbelievable. All the positive responses we've got from the radio station, from our listeners. But it wasn't about us. It wasn't about the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. It was about doing something that was right. And that's what the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition is all about. They're for fighting for all of us, for exposing this culture of corruption in St. Clair County. But for Mayor Eckert and Chief Clay to try to put this in effect. And then Chief Clay said Friday he's modified the policy and will let officers decide which shoulder patches they wear on their uniforms. Well, that's not very much uniformity. I would say you're still a no good ass white bastard. I would say it would be mandatory. Why can't you, Clay? Why can't you, Mark Pussy Boy Eckert, a.k.a. Maximus Vaginas? Why can't you guys say, this is America, we're proud of our country, let's fly that flag as high as we can, as often as we can. But now, Clay, you're going to give individuals the right now, all your ass white boys, all your bums with badges that follow you around like the Pied Piper, and maybe you've been doing something with that Pied Piper, I don't know. They're going to wear both Belleville emblems because that's what you want, you unpatriotic bastard, and that's what Mark Pussy Boy Eckert, a.k.a. Maximus Vaginas, that's what you ignorant bastards want. Why is it not mandatory? Why is it not mandatory, you no good son of a bitches? This is America. Be proud. Be proud of where you live. Be proud of what you've had the opportunity to do. One of you ignorant bastards, a chief of police, the most important position in local law enforcement, and the other one's the mayor, the chief law enforcement officer, and you can't be thankful that you got this because of our freedoms in this great United States of America, you can't show a little consideration, a little thoughtfulness, a little pride in our country? People, you got to get it out of the trash. This was on the 19th, I guess, yes, Sunday's paper. Why should we have any kind of flap? Why should we have any kind of flap over a flag patch not being allowed on the Belleville Police Department's uniform? We've got better things to worry about in Belleville. And then this ignorant bastard, he said there was a lot of misinformation spreading on the internet. And Clay says it's not worth, in quotes, the fight to keep the July 7th policy in place. There never should have been a fight. There never should have been a policy put in place. And then Clay, what a no-count rotten bastard, says, it's not worth the fight. Clay said, this issue was not anything to get dug in over. Are you nuts, you no-good son of a bitch? It is certainly something to get dug in over. It's a symbol of our great country, you black buffoon. Are you nuts? What do you mean, don't get dug in? And he can't allow that kind of situation to fester. What do you mean you can't allow that kind of situation to fester? You and that political inbred idiot, Mark Pussy Boy Eckert, a.k.a. Maximus Vaginas, created this situation. You jerk-off son of a bitch, no-count bastards. This is America. You're going to make a big to-do, and then you're going to back off, and then you're going to try to blame somebody else. We're not going to let you get away with it, you son of a bitches. Not going to let you get away with it. I'm going to talk to Roger Cook as soon as they arrive. I think that there's going to be a big rally. I think him and Dallas, the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition and Dallas Cook, I think they want to show their support for this great country, for that great old glory. And I think they're going to have some kind of, not a demonstration, but some kind of rally tonight. And it's not going to be a rally, I don't believe, and I will be there and be part of it. I'm not going to rally or protest against Mayor Eckert. I'm not going to protest against Bill Clay, the chief. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to stand and wave a flag in support of the flag. I'm there to support this great flag of the United States of America and what it stands for. And speaking of that, Mark Sweet Cakes Kern, I drove by the courthouse. Mark Pussy Boy Eckert, Mayor of Belleville, a.k.a. Maximus Vaginas. I drove by City Hall in Belleville. 4 Marines, 1 sailor were slaughtered on our own land. What a message. It was sent all throughout. Bells rung. Our Marines were killed. Not in Iraq, not in Iran, not in Pakistan, but on the streets of this great United States of America. It was in the paper. It was national news. They're our national symbol of strength, of honor, of heroic actions, all of our military. I drive by City Hall in Belleville. I drive by the courthouse in Belleville, 2 different flags. Not either were flying at half staff. Now, when Whitney Houston died, you remember that crackhead singer, old Whitney Houston? She was a celebrity, never did nothing for anybody, been making a lot of money and snort some crap up her nose. And I'm not saying that because she's black, because there's a lot of white crackheads. But when she died, it wasn't protecting this great country of ours. It wasn't that she was trying to show that she was supportive of this great country. No, she had her nose up a cocaine bin. But the flags flew at half staff for her. I remember that. They flew at half staff for her. And you rotten bastards, I'm demanding as an American citizen that you mark Sweet Cakes Kern. And it's not for Bob Romanik, this is for our country. And Mark Pussy Boy Eckert. I demand as an American that you fly those flags, that American flag, that great old glory at half staff to remember our fallen heroes. I believe over in St. Louis, I think the flag flew at half staff in Ferguson for Michael Brown. I don't really remember, but I think it probably did. I remember all the grief that went out. The grief's over, but not for those 4 or 5 families of the Marines and the Navy. They're suffering today for those brave military heroes that were there to try to recruit so we could get other brave heroes to protect us and our families. And that flag can't fly at half-staff? Are you nuts? Mark Eckert, Mark Kern, I won't disrespect you in this round. Will you please, and I ask you as a proud American, will you please go out there today and fly that great Old Glory, that great American flag at half-staff? Because these were heroes. These were heroes that died on our land. You hear me? Died on our land. And we can't pay a little recognition? Are you nuts? Every time some goofy, no-count, low-life, good-for-nothing son of a bitch, and not public servant, but politician dies all throughout this great country. Some buffoon who stole money for 30 years, who didn't do anything but collect a paycheck. When he dies, guess what? That flag flies at half-staff. How disrespectful is that to this great country of ours? And I say, Mark Eckert, please, I'm asking you, County Board Chairman Mark Kern, do this, not for me, but to show that St. Clair County, that the city of Belleville, that we respect this great country of ours, that we respect the symbol of this great country of ours, Old Glory, flying high over many, many battles where many of our heroes died. It's not about me. It's not about the citizens. It's not about you politicians. It's about this country. Those men died Thursday or Friday, whatever day it was, and you guys are not flying the flag at half-staff. But if a county official dies, and I hope they never die. I hope they die politically, of course. But when one of them die, the first thing you guys do is drape the courthouse, drape the city halls, and fly that Old Glory, that symbol of freedom. Fly that Old Glory at half-staff because of their death. Can we not do that for these 5 fallen heroes that died on domestic soil, died trying to recruit other proud and heroic members of military? Can't we do that? I'll come up there to the courthouse. I'll lower the flags if you guys don't want to. I'll lower the flags, and I'll give you a donation for your political campaign, whether I'm for or against you. This is atrocious what's going on in this great country, and then Belleville especially. Mark Eckert, this is a way to get some forgiveness for us as Americans. You and Clay didn't want the flag on the patch on the arm of the police officers. That was disrespectful in my opinion. But you can make up for it now. Keep the patch on and lower that flag for at least a week for our fallen heroes. Mark Kern, I ask you, and I hope you're a proud American, to do the same. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, and proud to be your First Amendment and all-American station, Radical Radio, and we stand tall as the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Had two very nice-looking gentlemen, dressed good. They just walked in. Roger Cook and his son, Dallas Cook. They'll be with me in just a moment. I want to say happy birthday to Mrs. Rose Qualls. I won't say how old she is. She's the beautiful bride of Reverend Tom Qualls. So, Rose, happy birthday. Hope you have 71 more years. Oh, 71 years old today, Rose. You look like you're 31, so you keep it up. Also, Cahokia. Curtis McCall, you idiots, you can't shut people out of a village hall meeting. They shut the door, shut people out. What Curtis McCall Jr. and Sr. did, they flooded all their people in the last board meeting an hour before the meeting. Wouldn't let anybody else in. They shut the door. That is a true violation of the Open Meeting Act. We've made a complaint. There's going to be more complaints made. They also tell me, and I want to salute all the unions and all the union people. They tell me that the Ironworkers local, they had a golf tournament scheduled at the Prairies Golf Course in Cahokia. That's owned by the village of Cahokia. And they're protesting because of the way that the union members that work in the village of Cahokia are treated. I hear the carpenters and everybody else going to do the same. So McCall's, you disrespect all the unions and the union people. Then you call yourself Democrats and you expect them to support you in the 2016 election. I think you're going to find a lot of union members that aren't going to vote Democrat because that Democrat's only a name. They want some action. They want to be respected. And you Democrats are not respecting all these local unions. So all you local union guys, we salute you, and we just hope that in 2016 that you vote the person, not the party. With me, co-chair of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, Mr. Roger Cook. Roger, how the heck you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I want to salute you, Carl, and the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, because as soon as you heard it on the radio that we exposed it last Tuesday about this flag patch on the Belleville police uniforms, you being the ex-mayor of Belleville and an ex-policeman, you were livid. You were up in arms because you are a true American. You made calls. You give me a lot of information to put on the air. And because of all of us and all the good people out there, we've stopped these rotten bastards. And if we stop them once, we can stop them again.
You're right, Bob. I did hear it on your station, and I tell you the first call I made because I didn't believe it. I could not believe it. I thought whoever called and gave you that information was not telling the truth. I called my son, Dallas, Belleville City Clerk, and I asked him if he had any knowledge of it, and at that time he did not. And he checked into it, got back with me, and that's when we started making calls. Dallas started doing some things of checking it out and forming a rally. And let me just go back a little bit. When I was a young man in grade school at William Holiday School in Fairview Heights, I learned the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I remember that because we were so proud of the men and women that have died and fought for our freedoms in this country. And there's nothing more precious to me than the flag of the United States of America. In junior high, we did it. In high school, we did it. As mayor of Belleville, I led the Pledge of Allegiance off at every council meeting. You go to all these clubs, they do it. It's not just in name that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. It's because men and women fight every day protecting us out here in the communities. As a police officer, I remember putting that uniform on for the first time and how proud I was to wear a shirt that had a patch of the American flag and a patch of the Belleville Police Department on it. It's about pride. The men and women of every police department throughout this country put their life on the line to preserve and protect the people. And I think it's a slap in the face of all former police officers, current police officers, and definitely our veterans that have fought and died for this country.
You know, Rogers, it's a slap in the face to America. And people, you ought to, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but Roger, I can tell is a true American. When he was talking, you could hear his voice breaking up. I can see a few tears in his eyes, and there's tears in my eyes. And when they say men don't cry, that's bull crap. Roger, I got to say, you know what? I know you're a proud, true American, and I know it gets to you, and I know you're emphatic about this great country, as is your son. And it's amazing how this St. Clair County Freedom Coalition has revived people's interest, not only in politics, but in this great country of ours.
Each of us here on this earth today have been blessed to be born and live in the greatest country of all time. The freedoms, the rights, the Constitution, the pride, Look back at 9/11 when everybody came together because we had a tragic event. We don't need a tragic event to remind me that how blessed I am to be here in this country. Now, let me say before I lose my time, tonight at 6 o'clock, we are having a peaceful rally just to come in and support the American flag, be thankful for what we are and who we are, and that we're lucky enough to be United States citizens. And let's fly it high. Let's all bring a flag, and we're just going to meet each other and walk back and forth out in front of City Hall.
And celebrate being Americans.
Celebrate it. And have the backs of the police officers, the paramedics, the firefighters, the same people that wear a patch on their flag, because they're proud. They save lives, each and every one of them.
Yeah, I just... Again, I don't know why. I know why you're doing it. Your son, Dallas, is doing it. Why I'm doing it. Why I hope a lot of people out there are doing it, because we love our country. But I don't know why it had to come to this with these political buffoons that are going to try to make a power play, and not in this day and age with everything going on, with our military heroes being killed on our soil. And then Eckert, the mayor of Belleville, and Clay, the chief of Belleville, want to make a move to not display the flag proudly, but to hide it shamefully. That just pisses me off, Roger.
Well, I'm in shock, to tell you the truth. I think they made a bad mistake. I think it was probably part of political correctness, which is damaging our country. We need to start getting people in office that represent what's best for the people and not political means, and I'm sick and tired of it.
Roger Cook. Hey, we're going to come back right after the break. We're going to be with Dallas Cook, and Dallas has been so transparent. I'm going to start calling him Dallas Casper, the Ghost Cook, because you can see right through his office, and that's what he wants. He wants everybody to know what's going on, and by what he's done, you don't have to go up to the office and blah, blah, blah. You get on that computer of yours, and you can get everything, and I want to salute Dallas Cook for that, and he'll be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. Before I talk to our other guest, Mr. Dallas Cook, he's the Belleville City Clerk, done a great job. I would ask everybody listening, I don't care if you like me, don't like me, we all love this great country. Everyone, make a call to the courthouse. Make a call to the city of Belleville. Tell Mark Eckert, tell Mark Kern to please honor and respect our great country and fly that flag at half-staff for those 5 brave military heroes that died on our soil to protect us. It'll take a half a minute for somebody to go out there and lower the flag. I would be proud. I'd be proud. I'll go out there and lower both of those flags. I'd just about go out and do it, but they'd throw my ass in jail. And it'd just about be worth it. And I may do it. But please, please call. Call St. Clair County Board Chairman Mark Kern and Belleville Mayor Mark Eckert and tell them, don't do that for Bob Romanik. Don't do that for you or even them. Do that for this great country of ours and what it stands for. Let's stand behind our brave military heroes. There's 5 families that aren't going to have their brother, their husband, their cousin come home, their son. They won't be coming home. That's the least we can do as Americans. Give them a call. With me, Mr. Dallas Cook. Dallas, I got to say, I'm going to start calling you Casper the Ghost, because since you've taken office, you've tried to make everything transparent, and you're making the people of St. Clair County and Belleville happy, but you're pissing off these politicians because, as everybody knows, to get information before, freedom information, wait 7 days, hey, come back, get you an attorney. Nobody could ever get any information, and I want to salute you. And I read some jerk in the paper, well, Dallas Cook, he's doing wrong. They can hack into that. You idiot. Dallas, you don't have to hack into it. Dallas is opening it up for everybody because he believes everybody in Belleville, everybody should have the right to get the information that's needed. And Dallas, again, I want to salute you for that. What if you get any heat because you're trying to do what's right?
Well, thanks, Bob. Yeah, you know me. I'm getting heat for everything I do, but I do stand for something, and I'm proud of it, and I'll continue on. But with that kind of way of thinking, 100 years ago when they invented cars, you'd think, well, no, those cars, they go way too fast. That's dangerous. We don't need it. Cars, a horse and buggy's just fine. Well, right now, how do you think people feel about that? Yeah, let's go back to horse and buggy days. Let's do that. No, today's the age of technology.
Right.
It's most important for our citizens to be able to have access to their government, access to documents, and things like ordinances that are the laws that they're supposed to adhere to. So how can it be a law if you don't know what it is? Or how can you know who to vote for if you don't know what they do? So my goal as city clerk, and being that I'm the link of the citizens to their government, everything I can do to put the information out there, that's my number one goal and priority.
You know what, Dallas? I've been around politics for 50 years, and I'm saying this not to stroke you. To be honest, I've never seen any office holder try to fight so hard to be so transparent and get so much heat from the different political arm instead of them embracing it. But I know it's a good thing because it is a good thing, number one. And when your political opposition fights, they're fighting because they know you're doing the right thing. You're doing the thing that people appreciate, and they don't like that.
Stand it. I'll have people say different things about me, and, I just fight for what I think's right. I'm only going to get involved with something if I know the people that I represent believe that way. That's the only time. And it doesn't matter what it is, even if it doesn't have to do with my office. I was elected to serve the people, and that's what I do.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're helping out as many enemies as you're helping out people that voted for you. And I think, and I know you didn't do it for political reasons. You did it because you thought, and we talked off the air, that it was the right thing to do, because it's hard for people to get information. And these politicians, you're a public servant. These politicians, hey, you got to have a freedom of information. We wait 7 days. We can take another 7. We're not going to give you that. Get you an attorney. Cost you $500 or $600. They have kept people from getting any information, and here you're putting it out on a silver platter. Everybody ought to, even your enemy, your political enemies, ought to be applauding you for doing such a great thing and giving the transparency to everybody.
Exactly, and that's what is so concerning, is that, when you do something like this, why would somebody have a problem with it? What would be hidden that you wouldn't want people to see? There should never be anything. That's why government should be very open. We should have an open door policy that anything we do, people can witness. There's nothing that we do that should ever be behind any closed doors. There's certain, few things that may take place that you're in a better position to keep, in an executive session.
Well, some things you legally have to.
Sure. We need to follow the law first and foremost.
Right.
But to the extent of the law that we can, our goal is to make the records open and available to everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. I could care less who you are. You have the right to have access to the documents.
Yeah, I want to salute you for doing that, and you and your father both for putting this rally together tonight, because I will be there. I hope everybody shows up, and it's not going to be a party. It's going to be a rally, and I feel compelled to show up because I am a true American, and if I can't take a few minutes out to come down and show my support for this great country. But again, I want to thank you and your dad for putting this together, and I just hope, and I tell you, if there's only the three of us, I don't give a damn, because I'm going to do my part in showing my love for this flag and for this country, as you and your dad are going to. And I just hope everybody feels compelled to come out there and do the same thing like your dad alluded to earlier. What a great country. What opportunities this great country has given us. And all we got to do to pay back is to go and have a little rally and say, hey, we love you, United States of America, to show everybody in this country what a great place it is to live.
Yeah, if you need to get your blood flowing today on a Monday morning when it's rainy, start thinking about things. Start thinking about your country. Start thinking about who you are, the opportunities that you have. what your country stands for, what that flag means, and come join us at 6 o'clock. We're just going to be a lot of proud people who are proud to be Americans. It's certainly not against anybody or anything. We're just here to say we love America, we love our country, and we're thankful for that. And we're thankful for all the veterans and the police and everybody who takes care of us here in this great country.
Mr. Dallas Cook, Belleville City Clerk. Dallas, keep up the good work. I know you're getting a lot of heat from your enemies, which means you're doing a great job. You're being transparent for all the people, and I think next election the people will remember you because you've done something that nobody else has done. You have made all the available information really available, not unavailable like past political people have. So I think everybody in Belleville appreciates what you do. Thank you very much. We'll see you at 6 o'clock tonight.
Thanks, Bob. It's my honor, my pleasure.
Mr. Roger Cook, I'm going to give you the last word. Chairman of St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. I know you helped spearhead this with your son. What do you got to say in closing to the audience?
Hey, in closing, Bob, I'd like to say thank you to you and KQQZ radio station. Without this voice, without your voice, your radio station, we would not be able to speak to the people and get this information out. And for that, we'll be forever grateful.
Roger Cook, co-chairman, St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. With me, if he'll get off his computer, I've got Charlie America just come back. Charlie America just come back from South Carolina, and we want to hear what he has to say. He's our roving national reporter. Charlie America's been all over the United States trying to fight for truth and justice and a fair political system. Charlie, I appreciate you flying back in from South Carolina. What went on with the the rallies with the Ku Klux Klan and the Black Panthers?
Well, it was interesting, Bob. It was good to be down there and to see it happen close up because regular media didn't carry it. And you had the Ku Klux Klansmen. They did not wear robes. You had the new Black Panther Party chairman of the National Party down there, and the police were able to keep it. There were about 2,000 people there. That's an accurate count. And they had to move the Ku Klux Klansmen out. They got followed to a parking lot, and unfortunately there was one that was injured pulling his car out. But the most interesting thing that happened was one of the Black Panther members came up and talked to me, and I wore the Old Glory on my head like I am today. It was the only safe way to be in there.
It looks good. Looks good.
And but he had an interesting take. He said, they're never going to put up at the state Capitol building his flag, the Black Panther flag. He said, and he didn't think it was bad that down came the Confederate flag. But he was noting that he bought his T-shirts and a number for other people on Amazon as a private party and could wear his Black Panther T-shirt. But you can't buy the Confederate flag on Amazon, and he, as a black man, thought that was wrong.
Yeah. Well, see, now, a gentleman like that fights for his beliefs, but he's got to know if he has beliefs in this great country, as we spoke earlier, me and the Cook family, that everybody should have beliefs and have rights to feel the way they want to feel. And that's my problem. It's not, I've just purchased a gray flag with a Confederate emblem on it from Johnny Brock's over in St. Louis. And I've got a blue hat, cowboy hat, with the Union symbol on it. And you know why I have both of them here? I don't give a damn about the Confederacy, what they did. I wasn't for it. I love this great country, but there was a Union side, there was a Confederate side, but even more than those two sides, there's an American side. The freedom to think the way you want to think, to express yourself the way you want to, and I'll be damned if I'll let any civil war, any war, take away from me my right as an American to do what I please to do, to have any opinion I have, because people, when they take my opinion away, when they stop me from talking, you're next in line. Charlie America, I'm going to give you the last word on this great country of ours.
Well, Bob, the broadcast and the press and the availability of us to talk about it and you to talk about it, it's most important. Roger was saying a few minutes ago that, that's what affects people, and that's what's going to rally people to, like, 6 o'clock tonight. The same thing happened down there. Unfortunately, only Insane Broadcasting and KQQZ sent a national reporter down there to tell the story.
Well, I'll tell you what, Charlie, you keep us informed. Charlie America, we're going to send him all throughout this great country. We're going to get involved in some presidential politics. 6 o'clock tonight, the rally, let's call it the Rally for America, the rally for the pride in America. Show your pride in America. Show up. Chief Clay, thank you. for at least being decent enough to represent and be proud of our great country and putting that flag back on each police uniform in the city of Belleville. And last but not least, I ask you again, Mark Eckert, the mayor of Belleville, with all due respect, please fly your city flag at half-staff for those brave military heroes, some family members, our family of Americans. Mark Kern, I ask you to do the same thing. Put that flag at half-staff to honor our brave military heroes. It's done for every political leader. Let's do it for the true heroes of this great country. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. I'm going to go a little off course today. I'm not going to disrespect any of our political leaders. I just hope that you political leaders, don't disrespect our great country. Fly that flag proudly on the Belleville Police Department uniforms. And please, Mark Kern, Mark Eckert, please lower that flag, have staff to honor our military heroes who died protecting us, all of us.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.